Hi, hello students. Welcome to Sreenath Academy. So, my name is Karthik. We are providing videos on all chapters and all subjects from class 1 to class 12. So, please do subscribe our channel, hit the bell icon, also share with your friends, students. Okay, so in this present chapter, we are going to discuss about perimeter and area, which is the 11th chapter from 7th class CBSE Max subject. Okay students, so chapter name is what, which is perimeter and area. So which is the 11th chapter from 7th class CBSE Max students. Okay, so besides that, we are providing the tuitions also, both online and offline. So please contact the description for tuitions. Okay students, so we are going to start this session. So perimeter and area, we are going to see the overview of this chapter. First thing is the introduction, which we have learnt about in the 6th class. Okay, and squares and rectangles, which is the second topic we are going to learn in this present chapter, and we are going to solve some examples. Okay, the next thing is triangles as parts of rectangles. So the relation between triangles and the rectangles. Generalizing for other congruent parts of rectangles. And next thing is area of parallelogram. We know parallelograms in which two opposite sides are parallel. And after completing the discussion about parallelograms, we are going to find out the area of a triangle. Okay, and we will solve some problems. After that, we are going to discuss about circles. Okay, what is the circumference of a circle, how to find out it, and what is meant by the circumference, and we will do some problems on circumference of circles. And what about the area of circle? Okay, we are going to find out the area of a circle and some problems, and the conversion of units from one unit to another unit, which is from meters to centimeters, centimeters to millimeters, and from kilometers. So all these conversions. And next thing is the application of this mensuration, application of this perimeter, area, all these formulas. Okay students, so this is the present chapter we are going to learn now. So we have completed the overview. This is the total chapter which we are going to learn now students. Okay, so this is the chapter overview which is completed. We are getting into the detailed description students. Okay, perimeter and area. Okay students, so we will start it. Introduction. So previous class, which is in the 6th class, we have learnt about what is meant by perimeter, which is nothing but the distance along the boundary of a closed figure. And what is the area? Area is nothing but the surface, amount of surface enclosed by a closed figure. So on the perimeter of the rectangle, perimeter of the square, perimeter of a equilateral triangle, we have found it out. And the area of the rectangle, area of the rectangle, we have found it out. Area of the triangle, like these things. A triangle we will study here, but area of rectangle and square we have discussed in the previous class, which is 6th class. Okay students, in the chapter mensuration. So in the 7th class, we are going to study some more topics here. So squares and rectangles. Okay, what is the square? You know, square is having all sides equal. Okay, and what about the rectangle? In the rectangle, opposite sides are equal. So the longest side is called as length and the shortest side is called breadth. In the square, all sides are equal. This is the information we are having about the square and rectangle. And what is the perimeter of a square? That is nothing but 4 into A. And what is the perimeter of a rectangle, which is nothing but 2 into L plus B, which we have discussed about these things in the previous class. Okay, and perimeter of any regular polygon is nothing but P is equals to number of sides into length of one side. Any regular polygon means its sides are equal. Like triangle is a equilateral triangle is a regular polygon, square is a regular polygon. So for the square, the perimeter is 4 into a, which means number of sides into length of each side. For equilateral triangle, the perimeter is 3 into a. So where 3 is number of sides, is the length of side. And for pentagon, which is have regular pentagon, which is having 5 sides, and length of each side is same, so which is 5a, like that, students. Okay, so the common formula for perimeter of regular polygon, which means which is having all sides equal, is nothing but number of sides. How many sides it is having? If it is square, it is having 4 sides. If it is triangle, it is having 3 sides, into number of sides into what? Length of each side, or length of one side. Length of one side. We just enough one side length. Why? Because all sides are having the same length, no? Okay, for the square it is 4 into side, and for it is the rectangle, it is the 2 into L plus B. So it is not the regular polygon. And area of rectangle is length into breadth. We have discussed previously. Area of the square is side into side, which we have discussed in the previous class. Okay, here they have got some doubt. So here Tanya is having a rectangular photo or rectangular cardboard like this, students. So she has cutted a square shape out of this. So does the length of this side is increased or decreased? Okay, and she has cutted another side. Does the length has increased or decreased? How much will the area increased or decreased? Will the perimeter increased or decreased? These are the questions that they have asked you, students. So here, on the basis of these things which you have learnt in the previous class, we are going to solve some problems. Okay, example 1. Okay, a door frame of dimensions 3 meters into 2 meters is fixed on the wall of a dimension. So there is a wall. Okay, wall is in the rectangular shape, we know, and his or rectangular, whatever the shape it may be. Wall is having the length of 10 meters and breadth of the 10 meters, which means it is a type of square type wall, you may think. So on this wall they have put the door frame, which is like this, whose dimensions are 3 meters long and 2 meters width. Length is 3 meters, breadth is 2 meters. Like that they have find out it. So now what they have to do is find the total labor charges for painting the wall. So now they want to paint this wall, students. I will show you how to paint. So they are painting with some color like this. They are painting this wall. Okay, so how many you have liked the Microsoft Paint, students, in your computer class? So we will like now. So painting diagrams like this. So they have to paint with some color. I am taking the yellow color, this wall. Okay, students. So like this for painting. For this type of painting the wall, how much cost it costs? Okay, and for what is the labor charges? So for painting 1 meter square of area, how much cost? It is 2.5 rupees. 2.5 rupees for 1 meter square area. But here how much area it is they have to paint? Will you know? So if you know the total area, they have to be paint like this. Then based on that they will know that it takes 2.5 rupees for 1 meter square area. Then for if it is for suppose 10 meter square area, then it is 10 into 2.5 rupees simply, or it is 50 to 50 meter square area, then it's 50 into 2.5 rupees, like that. But here question is how much area it is. We have to find out the area, total area they have to be painted. So its length is 10 meters, its breadth is 10 meters. So we thought that it is type of a square. So for a square, each side length is same, and for a square area is equals to side into side. So each side is 10, so side into 10, which is 100 meter square. Simply we can assume like that, we can tell like that, but it is not the true. Why? Because means friends, here if you see, I didn't paint it at this point of area, I left it. So this part of area is not to be painted. Why? Because there is a door here, we need not to paint it here. So here we have to decrease this amount of area from the total area of this square. Okay, so we have to decrease this, we have to remove this part of area from this total area of 100 meter square. Okay, then you will get for the remaining part. Okay, so then what is the area of this part? If you know the area of this part, if you remove it, this part area, I am drawing it with some other. So this pink area part, which is the door, which not be painted, which need not be painted. So here we can save our charges, we can save our money. So we have to subtract this area. And what is this area? So this area is, which is nothing but a square, and the formula for square is side into side. But out of this square, some part is removed, which we have to remove. We don't need to paint there, and that part is in the shape of rectangle. And what is the area of that part? That rectangle shape area. We know that area of rectangle is what? Length into breadth. So what is the length? It is the 3, and the breadth is 2. So it is 3 into 2. So it is 6 meters. So we no need to paint the 6 meters which is in pink color area, but we only need to draw this green color. So what is the total area which we have to be painted, which means only the green area. So the total area, yeah, which means green in color, is area, which is green color, is square area plus square area minus, we have to subtract, no, subtract the rectangle area, rectangle area is in pink color. Okay, so square area is 100 meter square minus pink color, this area is 6 meter square. If you subtract 100 minus 6, you will get that is 94 meter square. So total area we have to paint is 94 meter square, and for 1 meter square it costs 2.5 rupees. Then for 94 meter square it costs how much? It is nothing but 94 into 2.5. So which is 235 rupees. They cost 235 rupees for painting. Have you liked this, students? Give me a like. So do this problem by your own. I will help you to crack this. Example 3. Anu wants to fence the garden in front of her house. So this is the Anu's house, and in front of our house there is some area which is the garden area, and she wants to build a fencing to that area. Okay, on the 3 sides. This is the side 1, and this is the side 2, and this is the side 3. Okay, so this is the side 1, these 3 sides she has to build. Okay, students. Out of these 3 sides she have to made the construction. Only these 3 sides. I will sketch them. So for this side fencing, and this side fencing, 3 sides fencing. How much cost it takes? Okay. So the length of each side is, this side is 20 meters and this side is 12 meters and this side is again 12 meters. Okay. Or simply you can say it is 20 or this is 12. Whatever it may be the sides, it is no problem. And find the cost of fencing. So if it is for 1 meter, it costs 150 rupees. So if she wants to construct the fencing along these 3 sides, what is the total length of these 3 sides? 12 meters, 20 meters, 12 meters. If you add all these 3 sides, which is nothing but perimeter, no, or simply add these 3 sides length. So it is 20 plus 12 plus 12. It is 44 meters. Total length is 44 meters length. So for this 44 meters, she has to construct the fencing. And for 1 meter, it costs 150. Then for 44 meters, it is 44 into 150 rupees, which is 6,600. This much cost it takes. That's it, students. So the area of a square and a rectangle are equal. Okay, here if you see, this is the example 5. And here if you see, there is a square and there is a rectangle. I am constructing this with, it is the square. Okay, and it is the rectangle. So the shaded area is the area, shaded region is the area. So the area of this square, and this is the rectangle. Area of this is equals to the area of square is equals to the area of rectangle, which means the shaded area of both is same. Which means what? If the side of the square is 40 centimeters, they have given that side is 40 centimeters for the square, and the breadth of the rectangle, so they didn't give the length but they given the breadth. It is how much? 25 centimeters. So next our task is to find out the length. What is the clue they are giving? So basically they have given this side length of a square, so using it we can find out the area of the square, so which is nothing but 40 centimeters into 40. No, area is side into side for a square. And for the rectangle, they give you the length. So formula is length into breadth, and they didn't give the length but they given the breadth. It is 25 centimeters. So if they have given the length, we can find out the area of the rectangle. But what is the clue they are giving is area of this rectangle is equals to area of this square. So we have to equate this. Both areas are same. So area formulas are these. So we have to equate it. So 40 into 40 is 1600. It is equals to length into 25. Then what about the length? So divide both sides with 25. So length is equals to 1600. 25 into length divided by 25 is equals to 600 divided by 25. So 25 cancel, it cancelled in it, and you will get finally length is equal to 64 centimeters. That's it, students. Okay, and after completing this, find the length of the rectangle. So that is not the that is the end of the question, but there is one more thing. Find the perimeter of the rectangle. Here we have to find out the perimeter. So perimeter means region around the rectangle. Okay, what is the perimeter? Length is 25 centimeters. What is the breadth? It is 64 centimeters. Then what is the perimeter of the rectangle? Perimeter is equal to 2 into L plus B. So 2 into 64 plus how much it is? 25. So if you do it calculations, it is 2 into 89 and it is 178 centimeters. That's it, students. Like that we have to do. Next, triangles as parts of rectangles. So students, we know the rectangle and the area of the rectangle, perimeter of the rectangle. We know the square, area of the square, perimeter of the square. Okay, but what about the triangle? Coming to the equilateral triangle, we know what is the length or perimeter of the equilateral triangle. But what about the area? We don't know. Here we are going to find out the areas regarding the triangles and perimeters, all these things. How we are going to proceed is, we are starting at the rectangles and from that we are going into the triangles. So we know it is a rectangle whose length is 8 centimeters, whose breadth is 5 centimeters. We know if you draw a diagonal to a rectangle, so this diagonal will bisect it rectangle into two triangles. Were these two triangles are congruent? If you cut them and place one over them, they will exactly match. They were having the same size. So all these answers are yes. These two are congruent. Congruent means which are having same shape and same size. If you place them one over the other, they will completely match each other. So both triangles are congruent. Both triangles are same. Xerox copies. Okay. Then what is the area of this triangle? Area of triangle. Area of triangle. Okay. So coming to this, what is the area of this triangle? This triangle. Will you know answer for it? We don't know, but we know the area for whole rectangle. And this rectangle can be made as two triangles. So the area of the rectangle also will make into two areas. One area belongs to one triangle, another area belongs to two second triangle, and both triangles are same. So both are having the equal area. Then both are having the equal area. Area of rectangle is equals to area of the triangle plus area of the triangle, and both are the same, t and t. So it is 2t. So area of rectangle is equals to 2 times the areas of each triangle. So if you want just the area of the triangle, it is 1 by 2 of the area of the rectangle. No, that's it, students. So area of triangle is nothing but 1 by 2. It is the half. Area of each triangle is half of the whole rectangle area, which is area of rectangle. Coming to this point, 1 by 2 into what is the area of rectangle, which is nothing but length into breadth. No. So area of rectangle is 1 by 2 into length into breadth. So here the values are 8 and 5. So 8 into 5. So it is the 40 by 2. It is the 20 centimeter square. Like that we can find the area of the rectangle. Now coming to the square. Square here. If you draw the diagonals for it, this diagonal and this diagonal, so they will make the square into 4 triangles, and the 4 triangles, if you place them one over the other, all they are congruent, same shape, same size. Here we are getting only 1 and 2 triangles. Here we are getting 4, and all are same. So what is the area of the triangle? Area of triangle, each triangle. So as this whole area is, I am marking it. What is the area of this one triangle? So all triangles are same. So total square area is equals to 4 times the area of the triangles. So one triangle area is nothing but 1 by 4 of the area of square. Okay. So which is 1 by 4 into area of square is side into side. 1 by 4 of side square, which is 1 by 4 into 5 square, which is 25 by 4. It is 6.25. So we will find out the generalized formula for triangles. We are cutting this rectangle along this part. If you bisect them and if you rotate them and place one of them, both are equal, both are congruent, both are having same size and shape. If you want the area of each part, that is 1 by 2 of the whole rectangle, 1 by 2 of length into breadth. That's it. So like that, after doing that, we are coming across the finding the area of the parallelograms. What it is? Parallelograms. So what do you know about the parallelograms? Area of parallelograms. Okay, what is the area of parallelogram? How to do the task? So first thing is, friends, take a graph paper like this and cut out a parallelogram and place it on it. Okay, so first thing regarding the parallelogram is it is having two parallel sides. Opposite sides are parallel. This side, so this side and this side are parallel. This side and this side are parallel. It is regarding the parallelograms concept. Opposite sides are parallel in parallelogram. If you place it on a graph paper, okay, what is the area of this parallelogram? So we know the trick is how many squares it is occupying. If you count like that, you will get some answer. Now we are going to do this more easily. For that, so we are cutting this parallelogram along this area. We are cutting this area. We are cutting this small area. Okay. We are cutting this area parallelogram, and we are, after cutting it, it will looks like this. And we are adding this cutted region at this point. Adding that area at this point. Okay. Now after cutting that and placing at this part at this side, if you see, it is looking like a rectangle. It's looking like a rectangle. Okay, rectangle. So the parallelogram now becomes a rectangle. And what is the area of rectangle? We know that is length into breadth. So finally, area of parallelogram is equals to nothing but area of rectangle. Is equals to area of rectangle now, students. It converts like that only. Area of parallelogram is area of rectangle. So if coming to the rectangle, coming to the area of the rectangle. What is the area of rectangle? We know that is the length into breadth simply. So then area of parallelogram is area of rectangle, that is length into breadth. So simple now, students. So this is the one way. So another way, here coming to the parallelogram. What is the, if you know only the parallelogram, what is the length and what is the breadth? So length is the base, but what about the breadth? It is the perpendicular distance. For that, we are going to draw a perpendicular like this from opposite vertex. So this length is called as the breadth. This is nothing but a height also. So simply the formula is b into height. Here it is the base. So finally the area of parallelogram, which is equals to, of course, a rectangle, but in terms of the values we are having parallelogram, it is base into height, which is nothing but b into h, is the area of parallelogram, students. Do like this activity, you will get the same answers here and here. Here, observe the 4 parallelograms. All parallelograms are having the same length and same breadth. Okay, but find the area of everything. So in every situations, you will get the same perimeter, but area is different. You will find that these parallelograms having different areas, but equal perimeters. Okay, areas are different, perimeters are same. Perimeters are same means their side length is same, no, 7 5 7 5 7 5 7 5. That's why perimeter is same, but area is different because it is depending upon the height. Height is 2.5, height is 3, height is 4, height is 3.5. That's why perimeters changes, friends. So finally conclusion is area of parallelogram is B into H simply. That's it. Coming to the triangle. Area of triangle. What is the area of triangle? How to find it? Okay. So a gardener is having a triangular shaped garden and he want to fill it with grass, whole garden. So there is a triangular shaped garden. He want to fill it with grass, whole area of this garden. Okay, like this. So he want to do like this. So in this case, he want to know the total area of this triangular region. Then only they will know how much cost it takes for filling it with grass. Okay. And now draw a scalene triangle using a paper and cut out the triangle and take another paper, another triangle and place both side by side like this. Both are same, place side by side like this. So you will observe these two will give rise a rectangle and these two parallelogram, whatever it may be, and these two will give rise the parallelogram and these two are the congruent. That's why when you place both of them, they are exactly matching. Like that, congruent triangles you have to take and place side by side. You will get a parallelogram. So then area of each triangle is, both are equal now, is 1/2, half of the area of parallelogram, and parallelogram area is B into H, so which is 1/2 into BH. Okay students, so area of triangle is equals to 1/2 into area of parallelogram. So which is 1/2 into area of parallelogram is base into height, no, 1/2 into base into height. This is the thing. And students, here if you see, there are 4 triangles. 4 triangles are having the same base, but their heights are different. All these 4 triangles are congruent also, but their areas are not same. Here we have taken the congruent triangles and we have find out the area for it. We are getting 1/2 H. So what is the thing is, all the congruent triangles have the same area. Even though if some triangles are having the same area, they are not congruent. Okay, that is the main point you have to kept in your mind. Now we will solve some problems. Example 6. One of the sides and the corresponding height of a parallelogram are 4 centimeters and 3 centimeters. So example number 6, and we are having a parallelogram, and one of the side means this side is 4 centimeters and the corresponding height, so height means this is the line, it is 3 centimeters. Find the area of parallelogram. We have to find out the total area of this parallelogram. How to find, students? Will you know area? We know the formula for area is what? For parallelogram, it is nothing but base into height. So it is base into height. If you substitute the base value is what? It is the base 4 centimeters. No, it is the 4 into whatever the height. It is 3 centimeters. It is 3. So it is 12 centimeters square. That's it, students. Do the 7th example by your own. I will help you to solve the 8th example. Example 8. Two sides of a parallelogram ABCD are 6 centimeters and 7 centimeters. So there is a parallelogram. What are the two sides are? One is 6 centimeters, another is 4 centimeters. The height corresponding to the base, it is the ABCD. No, it is the AB and the CD. That is the 4 centimeters here. Okay, the height corresponding to the base CD. So this is the base, and for this base, the what is the height corresponding? This is 3 centimeters, which means from it is 3 centimeters. Okay, what we have to do is we have to find out the area. Area means we have to find out the area. Only this which I have shading with this color, students. We have to find out this area. Okay, students, what is that area? We know that area is, formula is what? The base into height simply. What about the base? Base is 6 centimeters. And what about the height? Height is 3 centimeters. They have given here, no. So it is 3. So finally it is 18 centimeters square. That's okay. The height corresponding to base AD. So here, this is the side AD. This is the side AD, and to this side we have to find out the height. What is the height? If it is the base, what height is from opposite vertex? It has to be like this. If I rub this area so that it is visible for you. So this region, this height you want. This height is what? From B to we can name it as some, it is maybe X meters. We have to find out that. So area of parallelogram is same, students, regarding what are the measurements it is. So we know the area of parallelogram is 18, and that must be equals to area if you measure it any times anyway. So if in this case AD is the base, and B, if you name it as some E here, B is the height, and AD length is what? It is a 4 centimeters, and B is X meters. So this 4X must be equals to 18. Finally X is equals to 18 by 4, that is 4.5 centimeters. That's it, students. In this way how to find out. Main logic here is area parallelogram is same. Whatever the way you have find out it, whatever the base you have taken. Do this by your own, students. I will help you the 10th example too. So it is the triangle ABC. We have to find out the triangle ABC area, and it is, they have given that is 36 centimeters. Triangle is like that, and they have given the area of this triangle. They have given the area of this triangle is how much? It is 36 centimeters square total area, and height of the AD from this point to this point, okay, is what? 3 centimeters. Okay, and what we have to find out it is, we have to find out this length. This length is the question mark. So we know that formula area of triangle is what? Half base into height. Formula for area of triangle. So they have given the area which is 36 centimeters, and it is 1 by 2, and the base, this is we don't know, we are assuming it as X. And what about the height? They have given that is 3 centimeters. It is 3. So it is 3 by 2, X is equals to 36. And if you find out for X value, okay, 3X 36 into 2. X is 36, 2 means it is 72 by 3. X is 24 centimeters. Finally we have find out the distance, students. Okay, that is the way of finding out. Do it by yourself. Coming to the circles. Our present topic is circles. So there is a racing track which is in the shape of semicircular at the end. So if the runner goes for one round along this track, what is the total distance covered by it? Will you know? So we don't know. Here we are going to know how to find out the length along these curved surfaces. Circumference. Circumference of a circle. What is meant by circumference? Circumference is nothing but which is same as the perimeter. So for the polygons it is the perimeter, for the circle it is circumference. So the total distance along the total distance covered along the circle. Okay, along the circle, total distance covered along the circle is nothing but the circumference of the circle. If you start at this point and if you go on round and come back to this point, the total distance covered by you is the circumference. If it is the circle, the circumference is nothing but the total distance covered by you after one circle. So how to find the total distance around this circle? So for that, friends, the distance around a circular region is its circumference. What I have told you is here. So how to find it? So if you see here, if you place some point, mark on point, and if you roll it, if after roll it will goes like that, and at some point of time what happens, it will returns, it will goes and it will returns at this point, the mark. So the distance from this place to this is the circumference of the circle. That is the way to find out the circumference. Here is the table. There are some circles whose radius is 3.5 centimeters, diameter is this, and circumference is this, and we are finding the ratio of circumference to the diameter. In all situations we are getting these values. So by seeing these values, what we can say is that by seeing the ratio of circumference to diameter is always some 3.14, which is constant, and that ratio is 22/7, which is equals to 3.14, and we call that as pi, pi, ratio of circumference to radius, I think diameter, not radius, but to diameter. Pi. This will don't leave you till your education, students. Every time you will get in the maths or in the physics pi. So finally the circumference divided by diameter is equals to pi, which is circumference equal to pi into d. Circumference equal to pi into, we know that diameter equals to 2 into radius, double of the radius, diameter, so which is 2 r. So finally circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. It is the famous it is the very famous notation. It's the very famous rotation, very important rotation, famous and very important. Circumference of any circle is how much? Okay, circumference of any circle is 2 pi r, when r is the radius of that circle. Okay, students. Now we'll do some examples. Example 12. What is the circumference of a circle of diameter 10 centimeters? So there is a circle and we have to find out the circumference for it. And what they have given you is the radius, which means from center to this point. They have given diameter. So from center to, so this diameter which is passing to center, it is the double of the radius. Is how much? Which is 10 centimeters. Then what is the circumference of it? So the formula is 2 pi r. Okay, students, for the circumference in the terms of radius, and the same formula is pi d for in the case of diameter. Now if you substitute the values, which is pi is 3.14 and into diameter is 10 centimeters. So finally C is 31.4 centimeters. Like that we have to do the problem, students. Circumference of a circle. And you will by yourself, I will explain you this. The radius of a circular pipe, there is a pipe, is 10 centimeters. So there is a pipe which is in circular shape, and the radius of it from center to this part, radius is how much? 10 centimeters. 10 centimeters. What is the length of the tape is required to wrap once around the pipe? So here he is asking in a way to confuse you. Okay, just don't confuse here. What they have given is the value of radius, and what he is asking is, and if you want to find out the, or if you want to take a tape and you have to round it around the pipe for only one time. For only one type we have to wrap around the pipe. So just think, if it is the pipe and for one time we have to wrap it around it, so how much length of the tape we required? Which means the length of the tape must be equal to the circumference of the circle. Then only it is sufficient to cover the tape. If you take the tape which is having a small length, then the circumference of the pipe, we can't measure the complete circumference. If you take more tape which is greater than the circumference of length, it is not useful. The main thing is, what is the minimum length of the tape required to wrap around the pipe, which means minimum length means, which means what is the length or what is the circumference of the pipe. So circumference formula we know. So to wrap a pipe, to wrap a tape like this, we just need the tape which starts from here and if it goes like this and it ends here. Okay, it not be more like this or not be short. Okay, like the tape we only require. So the formula for the circumference is C is equals to, they have given the radius now which is 10 centimeters. So formula is 2 pi r. So then what about the circumference, or the whatever the tape we required is 2 into pi means 3.14 into radius is 10. So which is simply 2 into 31.4, which is nothing but 62.8 centimeters. That's it. Here the formula is same, question is same, the application is somewhat different. You have to think about it. Here there is another example I am going to explain you. Okay, Sudhanshu divided a circular disc of radius 7 centimeters into 2 equal parts. So there is a circular disc, they have divided it into 2 equal parts. Okay, what is the perimeter of each semicircular disc? Okay, so it is the circular disc, they have divided along this, so it will becomes one part, it will becomes another part. Okay, equal parts. So area is 1 by 2. So whose radius is 7 centimeters. So from this point to this point it is 7 centimeters. This is also 7 centimeters. This is also 7 centimeters. From this point to this point is also 7 centimeters. 7 centimeters. This point is also 7 centimeters, like that. Okay, we have to find out the perimeter of semicircular shape. Okay, students. So for that we need the circumference of a semicircular shape. First that is circumference. Next thing is diameter. Okay, first the circumference, it is nothing but, for a full circle the circumference is 2 pi r, and for half circle it is 1 by 2 into 2 pi r, which is half cancel, it is pi r, and which is 3.14 into radius is what, 7 centimeters no, or simply it, if you take it as 22 by 7, it is 22. circumference. Okay students, and now coming to the diameter. So we know the diameter is d is equals to 2 into r, so it is 2 into 7, it is 40. So now the what is the perimeter of the each semicircular disc? Perimeter means diameter, length plus circumference, which is 22 plus 14, which is 36 centimeters. That's it students. Next, coming to the area of circle. So coming to the area of the circle. How to find the area of the circle? So first thing is, area means what? It is nothing but the amount of surface enclosed. Okay, amount of surface enclosed. So to find it, so previously we have used the what method, which is the square grids method, graph paper, but it is somewhat difficult to estimate. So we have to use the another method. That method is, first thing is we have to draw a circle and shade one of half of the circle. So we are drawing a circle like this, and we are shading the half of it. Half of it is shaded. We have done like this. Okay, and we have to fold it. Okay, into eighths, means you have to fold it into eighths. One fold, another fold, another fold, like that, 8 folds. After making the 8 folds, it will looks like this. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 folds like this. So, and you have to cut these shaded regions. Okay, and after cutting each shaded region, we are having 4 shaded regions. Place like this, and between these shaded regions you have to place like this, unshaded regions. Okay, so you will get a parallelogram. It is not perfect parallelogram, it is a rough parallelogram, and it is very appropriate to parallelogram students. Okay, in this way you can find out the area of the parallelogram like that students. Okay, that is the one method. So another thing is, in the same way, if you divide the circle into 64 sectors, this is the same way. Here we have divided it into 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, only 8 pieces. If you divide it into 64 sectors, and if you arrange them like this in the same way, one is up, one is down, one is up, one is down, you will get a rectangle, nearly a rectangle like this. And what is the width of it? Is nothing but the radius. It is the radius. What is the length of it? Is length is 1 by 2 of the circumference. So 1 by 2 of the circumference. Then this is gives us the area. Therefore, finally, area of circle is equals to how much? It is nothing but area of the rectangle. Area of the rectangle is length into breadth. So L into B. Length is circumference, half of the circumference. Circumference is 2 pi r. 1 by 2 into 2 pi r. It is the pi r. Into breadth is the radius. It is another r. So finally it is the pi r square. So this is the area of the circle students. Formula for it. Okay. So now we will use this formula to solve some problems. Example 17. Find the area of a circle. Here it is the circle. We have to find out the area whose radius is 30 centimeters. What is the formula of area? Which is nothing but pi r square. What is the value of pi? It is nothing but 3.14. Into radius is 30 centimeters. No, it is 30 square. So it will give rise to 2826 centimeters square. That's it students. And here there is a 19th problem here. Example 19th. So the adjoining figure, this figure shows the two circles. Here we are having the two circles students. Okay, one is the circle and another is the circle. So I am going to shade it. So if I do like this is the second circle. Okay students, so both are having the same center. Both are having the same center. And the radius of the larger circle is, so for the larger circle, the radius is how much? Which is, and the radius of the smaller circle is, so for that, the radius of the larger circle is for larger circle, the area is how much students? It is 10 centimeters. And coming to the smaller circle, the area is, it is 4 centimeters. Okay, so we are having two circles. We know the areas or radius of two circles. Here the question is, find the area of the larger circle. What is the area of the larger circle? Formula is pi r square. Pi is, we know that is 3.14 into radius is what? 10 centimeters. So it is 10 square. So it is 100, it is 314 centimeter square. Completed. Next, area of the smaller circle. Again the is it area of smaller? Again the pi r square, and it is the 3.14 into radius is 4 centimeters. It is 4 square. So it is simply 50.24 centimeter square. Next, the shaded area between the two circles. What is the area of the shaded area which we have shaded now? How to find these students? So shaded area, if you want that shaded area, you have to subtract this whole area from the small circle. So whole area is 34, therefore total area is 314 minus 50.24 centimeters square. You will get 263.756 centimeters square. This is the shaded area. That's it students. So next is conversion of units. Next topic is conversion of units. Okay. So what we know is that students, 1 centimeter equal to 100 millimeters. Then 1 centimeter square is equals to how much? Millimeter square. Can you know? But here we are going to answer this type of questions. Okay students. So square of one side centimeter will be divided into 100 squares. If you are having a square whose side is 1 centimeter, square whose side is 1 centimeter. So it is divided into 100 squares. 100 squares whose each side is 1 mm. So square 100 squares whose side is 1 mm. So area of this is equals to area of this 100 into 1 mm squares. So area of this is 1 centimeter square and area of this is 100 into 1 millimeter square. So finally 1 centimeter square is equals to 100 millimeter square. So this is the relation we are using. Okay. So similarly in the same way, this is the relation between centimeters and millimeters. What about the 1 meter square, which is equals to 1 meter into 1 meter. So 1 meter is, we know that is 100 centimeters into 100 centimeters, which is nothing but 10,000 centimeters square. 1 meter square equal to. So it is the conversion we have to use throughout this chapter. But what about the kilometers? We can do the same thing regarding the kilometer students. And some other word you will learn, you will listen is hectares. Hectares. What is the hectares? Okay. A square of side 100 meters. So there is a square whose side is 100 meters. Its area is equals to 1 hectare. So finally what we can get is 1 hectare is equals to 100 into 100 meters into 100 meters, which is 10,000 meters square. So 10,000 meters square area, 1 hectare means 10,000 meters square area. So, and one more thing, if you observe, when we convert a smaller unit, okay, to bigger, what happened? Or the bigger to smaller, what happened? Suppose if you centimeter is the bigger unit and millimeter is the smaller unit. From bigger to smaller unit decreased, then the number in front of it will increases. Here it is only 1000, but here it is 10, 1 lakh increased. Coming to centimeters and meters, here centimeters is smaller unit, meters is bigger unit. Coming to smaller to bigger, what happens? The number is decreased. Here it is 1000, but here it is 0.1. So that is the thing you have to remember. And the applications regarding this all we have learnt. Applications, we are going to solve some problems. So example 20. A rectangular park is 45 meters long. This is the rectangular park, and it is the length is 45 meters and wide is 30 meters. Okay, and a path of 2.5 meters wide is constructed outside the park. So outside the park 2.5 meters, it is 2.5 meters, it is 2.5 meters. Okay students, so find the area of the path. So what is the area of this path, extra path? Okay, so for that students, we can do in different ways. It is the 45 meters and it is the 30 meters and it is the extra path we are constructing. Okay, so this length is 2.5 meters, which means I'm drawing bigger so that to mention some names. This is 2.5 meters wide. It is also 2.5 meters wide, and here also 2.5 meters. Okay students, so if I draw something like this here, okay, so here coming to this area, this is 2.5 meters wide, and what is the length? Length is 45 meters. No, here also 45 meters length, 2.5 meters. So these two areas are same. So if you find out this area, you can add this area twice it. And if you see here, its width is 2.5 centimeters and its length is also 2.5 centimeters. It is the square. So if you find out this square number 1, it is similar to this, and it is similar to this, and it is similar to this. Okay. Okay. So first thing here we have to find the 4 small squares areas. So for the first thing is answer total area is equals to 4 into square area, 4 square areas plus this is I am writing this as 5 and 6. These two are similar, 2 rectangles. So 2 into rectangles areas, and I am going to use another pen. So here it is the 2.5 and 30. Here it is also 2.5 into 30. So it is the 7 and 8. These two are also the rectangles. 2 into rectangle area. If you add all these areas, you will get the answer. Here they have given the names and they have used the names. They have solved it in different way. I will help you to crack it like this. It will be easy for you. So now it is equals to 4 into area of this square is what? So if you look at for this square, whose length is 2.5, whose breadth is 2.5, which means area of square is side square. So 2.5 square plus 2 into area of this rectangle. So this rectangle whose length is 45 meters and whose breadth is 2.5 meters only, no? So which is 45 in so area of the triangle, which is 45 into 2.5, coming to the area. Next 2 into, again there is small rectangle, whose width is 2.5 but whose length is 30 centimeters. So it is 2.5 into 30. Like that, if you do the task, if you multiply all these things, you will get the answer as 400 meters square, students. That's it. So I will help you to solve this. It is 4 into 2.5 is 2, is it is 6.25, plus it is 2 into, okay, here also same, 2 is there, 2.5 is there, 2 is there, 2.5 is there, 2.52, it is 5, simply it is 5 into 45 plus 2.52 serial, so 5 into 30. Four into 6.25. So if you take 4 times 6, 6 4 is 24, and 25, 0.25 is 4, that is 25, plus 45, you can write it as 5 into 45 plus 30. It's 25 plus 45 plus 30 is 55, 65, 75, 75 fives. How much it is? 75 fives. So if you add it, you will get that is 400 meters square. That's it, friends. Okay. You will do it by your own. So there are two crossroads of width 5 meters. Okay. And run at right angles through the center of a rectangular park. So there is a park here. Rectangular park here. Okay. In this rectangular park, there is a road. Road is 5 meters. So this area is 5 meters. This is also 5 meters. This is also 5 meters, and this is also 5 meters. Okay. So this is 5 meters. Here we are getting a square. So whose rectangular park whose length is 70 centimeters, and whose width is 45 centimeters. Okay. Find the area of the roads. What is the area of these roads? Also find the cost of constructing the roads at the rate of 105 per meter square. We start naming all these. Rectangle is A, B, C, D, and here it is PQ, and it is KL, MN, NM, and it is E, H, F, G. It is the SR. So here first PQ is equals to 5. PQ is equals to 5, and this PQ is equals to SR also, no, and this PQ is equals to PQ equals to SR also, and PQ is 5, and if you see from P to S means here from this point to this point, P to S is what they have given, that length is 45 meters. Okay, students, so you can find out the area of this rectangle by this, and EH is 5, and E to F is, it is 70 centimeters, not centimeters, meters. And coming to from K to L, it is 5, and K to N it is 5. K to L is 5 and K to N is 5. So first thing is we have to find the area, this area and this area. Out of both these things, we have to subtract one area. This area we have to subtract. Okay, students, that is the main task. Area of this rectangle minus area of the square. So area of rectangle what? PQRS plus area of rectangle EFGH minus area of square KLMN, which is equals to, what is the area of rectangle? Rectangle we know length into breadth. Length is 5, breadth is this, so 5 into 45. Plus about this it is 70 into 5. And whole minus square is side square. Side is 5 into 5. If you do the calculations, you will get 225 plus 350 minus 25. Then it will becomes 550 meter square. So total area is 550 meter square. And what is the cost for it is, for 1 meter square it is 105. Then for it is for total cost, it is 105 into 550. It is 57,750 rupees, approximately 60,000 students. So finally this chapter is completed, students. Hope you have understood well. So don't forget to subscribe to Sreenath Academy. So share with your friends. Have any doubts, comment below. Finally chapter is completed. We will see the summary of this whole chapter, students. So perimeter is the present chapter, perimeter and area. So perimeter of any regular polygon is number of sides into length of one side. And we have solved some problems regarding the previous knowledge. And we have made the rectangles into 2 triangles and find out the area of the triangles. And the area of parallelogram is nothing but the base into height. Base into height. Based on this we have discussed some problems. Next thing is area of triangles. So area of triangle is nothing but half into base into height, which is half the area of parallelogram. And after discussing the problems about that, we are getting into the circle, circumference of a circle. Circumference is nothing but the distance around the circular region, and that circumference is nothing but 2 pi r in terms of radius, and it is pi d in terms of diameter. And here pi is the new term, which is the ratio of circumference to the diameter, whose value is 22/7 or 3.17. We have solved some problems. Next thing is the area of circle. So area of the circle for now we have find out which is pi r square. Okay, where r is the radius. After that we have solved some problems and conversion of units, that 1 meter square is equals to 10,000 centimeter square, and 1 hectare is equal to 10,000 meter square. And applications we have solved some problems. That's it, students. Summary is also completed. Have a nice day. Bye bye, students.